Speaking of that, I got a final news story that I've added last minute here for you guys.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Just came in hot off the press.
Surprise. Sure it is.
Speaking of Joe Williams and changes to Return of the Jedi.
Oh, what?
As reported on boingboing.com and other places, Disney quietly removes jizz from Star Wars.
Wait, what?
So
that's too bad.
Disney has quietly removed jizz from Star Wars. This is a hot off the presses story.
Can you say more about this, please?
No.
I need, because I don't have to ask you,
just like we said,
what you're implying, and so
show.
I really need more information here.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So a book just came out in August called "A
There's
Certain
the name
Point
of a
View."
character, Jizz Fortuna or somebody. I don't know.
You wish.
I love when John laughs like that.
I just heard it. Jizz Fortuna.
Takes time for sound to get all the way to where you are.
It does, yep.
From Jacksonville. So a book came out called "A Certain Point of View: Return of the Jedi." It's a new short story collection celebrating the 40th anniversary of the film, just published in August. A book features an incredible lineup of authors, including Saladin Ahmed, I'm going to say, Mike Chen, Alyssa Wong, all contributing in continuity stories that retell key moments of Jedi from the perspectives of different characters in the film. You think that character's just Fortuna, John?
Okay, it took me a full 30 seconds after Will cracked up to get that. Okay.
I'm just
on board, or not on board.
Now I'm taking a full step back because remember when Will was concerned that, well, we don't want to just like sideswipe you with a word that you're not prepared for. So we're going to call it pickle and party. We're going to call it parrot. Jizz. Whoa. You just,
I don't even know why you guys are upset about this. What's jizz?
I'm not upset.
There's no upset.
Is jizz a bad word? I'm just reporting the news.
Curiosity.
I'll say what John said a couple weeks ago. And whatever you're thinking is in your head. I didn't put it there. I'm just reporting the news.
That's right.
This is literally a headline that I read online.
That's, just because that's the definition of the word. There's no rational reason I should think it.
One of the stories in this book was by Star Wars creative art manager Phil, let's say, Szostak. It focuses on the character of Max Rebo, who we just mentioned. He's the blue-skinned leader of the band who plays like the funky keyboard. In Jabba's palace. According to the
No, go ahead.
By the way, when you said Jizz Fortuna, what the delay and what ultimately happened was, do you remember in Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, Pizza the Hut? I Mel Brooks the Jizz Fortuna character like almost instantly in my head of what he looked like. And that's why I had to pause for a second there.
You are welcome.
Thank you. I'll have that in my head.
Okay.
So according to the original novelization of the film, back in 1983, Rebo is known as what was called in the book a jizz whaler. The 1995 short story collection Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina further established that jizz is in fact a popular style of music in the Star Wars universe, practiced not only by the Max Rebo band, but it's also the kind of music by the infamous house band at the Cantina.
Okay.
In Mos Eisley. And yes, Disney did wipe out a lot of the stories from the canon once they purchased Lucasfilm.
Okay.
But is it the wiping of the jizz?
I'm just imagining the new scenario, that T-shirt that says, Max shot first.
Oh no. Oh,
that is
no.
We gotta beat him to the punch.
Quick. Gotta get some shirts made quickly.
Now, although Disney wiped out a lot of the books from the canon, in 2017, the company published a new novelization of Return of the Jedi written by Ryder Wyndham, which reestablished jizz as a part of the Star Wars canon.
Okay.
In fact, Alden Ehrenreich, who played Han Solo in that prequel film, he referenced jizz while promoting his role as Han Solo.
Oh my. Okay.
Wait, was he talking about the music?
Of course he did.
Yeah. But jizz is conspicuously absent from the Max Rebo story.
Oh.
in this new book that I told you about.
Ah.
Instead, the writer describes the genre of music performed by Max Rebo's band as jats.
It's another misspelling of jazz.
J-A-T-Z. Jats.
Zostak writes, quote, jats came to be known as by many names, some less palatable than others, end quote.
Oh, man.
Now, jats, it turns out, was a phrase that appeared in some literature related to Star Wars back in the 1990s.
Bitter.
Now, I went down a rabbit hole because the fact that they would... I just don't know what's setting him off anymore. He's doing his own thing in his head.
It doesn't take much.
It's now not even the Cat and John show anymore. It's just the John show.
John Foolery.
I'm just listening.
So I went down the rabbit hole. Or the pigeon hole.
The party hole.
And the what hole? The party hole?
Party hole.
I stopped listing holes, Cat. I mean, the jizz hole. I mean, the jats hole.
There's
so many holes.
I think we've got plenty now.
Yeah, we got all. Yeah. But I was curious. So, of course, our modern vernacular certainly our slang. Jizz refers to something else, which is what our elementary school level of humor is on this news story. But I thought, well, maybe is it possible when they wrote this story in 1983 that it wasn't a common parlance referring to, what we know it to be known as now.
Yes.
And what I found out is that this word has been around for a long time.
Okay.
And it's really, this isn't going to make it better. It's really, a shortening of the word jism, which in the 19th century was used to mean energy or spirit.
Ah, yes. Yes.
And jism became jizz, and jizz and jazz were used interchangeably for this. But by the 20th century, I found this interview with this composer named Eubie Blake.
Oh, good.
Who, along with Noble...
I was nervous who the interview was with. Okay, go ahead.
It was Just Fortuna. What did Just Fortuna John say? Go ahead. What did he sound like?
Do a voice.
I can't imagine.
We need a voice.
I can't imagine.
What if Just Fortuna was saying Dance Macabre? What would it sound like? No! John may be forcing me to edit.
Challenge accepted.
That was his goal.
You said you weren't going to edit. Welcome to the John Show.
We'll be right back with the Pope.
It's always when there's a guest.
I don't even know the name of the current Pope. All right. But this interview with Eubie Blake, who, along with Noble Sissel, wrote the music and lyrics for the musical Shuffle Along back in the 1920s. And he was serious about his music, this article said, like his colleague Scott Joplin. They called it ragtime, this sort of music that they were using to score this musical that they wrote.
Okay.
And he said, this is a story he told in 1979, was that when his music made it its way to the New York stage, it was given a racier name. So this is in the 1920s.
Okay.
One that Blake says was derogatory. He wouldn't even say the word. He would only spell it.
Oh.
He said, quote, when Broadway picked it up, they called it J-A-Z-Z, he says. It wasn't called that. It was spelled J-A-S-S, he said. That was dirty. And if you knew what it was, you wouldn't say it in front of the ladies.
Wow. How interesting.
So somewhere between the late 19th century, which I mentioned, jizz and jazz and jism meant spirit or energy, it transformed into this other thing.
Yeah.
That by the early 20th century, it was already being used to mean this other. Anyway, Star Wars has no one but themselves to blame.
So that's all that is Star Wars.
Yeah, and even if they called it jazz, apparently it would have been dirty. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's
okay.
That is fascinating to me. Whew. Wow.
I'm spent.
Come on. John, that's going to go way over most people's heads. But we'll mine.
I'm with you.
All right, let's get out of here. All right.
I'm just shaking my head.
Like a catcher in a baseball game. She's shaking off these plays.
Nope. Not doing that one.
Nope.
Edit that part out. Nope.
I'm doing my own editing right here.